Hello again, I am Jim Bob. Welcome back to Season 2 of Prison Architect. So, our prison is kind of pretty much complete now. We've got our first set of 10 prisoners in, and we've got another set of 10 medium security prisoners on the way, but 10 isn't really enough. So, what we're going to do is we're actually going to increase that intake up to 20. So, each one of these blocks can hold 20 prisoners, and we want to have a little bit of separation at least in the blocks. So we're going to go to prison running, and we're going to go to security sectors. And what we're going to do is set this block here as minimum security. So any minimum security prisoners that are currently housed in this block will get relocated over to this one. Or at least that's what should happen anyway. And we're leaving this one as shared. Actually, let's just make sure that that's definitely going to kick them out. We're going to start with minimum security, medium security on that block. Speed time up a bit. I don't see anyone moving because nobody's in their cells, so we should be good. In fact, all of those cell doors have closed now, whereas we've still got a couple open in this one here. These are cells that are currently in use by prisoners. There we go. So we should have 10 prisoners in there in total. Just looking around to see if I can see if there are any others anywhere else. I don't see any. Let's just count up, make sure we have 10 in here. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yes, there we go. So let's also go ahead and add in another 10 minimum security prisoners as well. There we go. So now that they're all allocated, once they come in, we'll actually change this to shared, because inevitably some of our medium security prisoners are going to end up going into maximum security for kicking off. It just always happens. So if we do that, they'll be completely without an allocated cell block. Obviously, this is a very small prison to start with. We have plenty of space to expand, but we don't have anywhere to house maximum security prisoners just yet as a separate block. So we'll make this shared once everyone's in and all 20 of the minimum security have been allocated into this block. That way we'll know for sure that everyone's going where they're supposed to. Right, let's get speed going again. And also, we're now going to be going from 10 prisoners to 40 prisoners, and our 10 guards are not going to be enough, so we're going to need to hire some more guards. So let's go to prisoners, and no, not prisoners, sorry, hire staff. That's what we want. We're going to hire in a load more guards, so we're going to go up to let's go up to 25 guards. Actually, no, we'll go to 20. And I also want to add in some extra dog handlers. Do I want to hire any more cooks? Let's see how we do with 2. Hopefully we won't need to hire any additional cooks. So time is whizzing by. We have a few other things that we need to get done. First things first as well, we need to sort out our guard deployment now that we have this extra staffing. So let's get these in place before the new prisoners turn up. Let's put a guard in there. We want a guard or 2 guards in the yard. We want a guard in the canteen. We want to double up the number of guards in the cell blocks. Where else do we want one? We want one in visitation. And I want to have a sniffer dog in here as well. And what I'm actually going to do, if I slow time down a bit, I'm actually going to move this door over to here. Like so. And now I need to go to walls and doors. And what I'm going to do is... Oh, cancel that. I'm going to fill this wall in. all the way along like that. And we're going to put in those metal detectors that I just completely forgot about. And the reason why I'm doing this is just so that we have a little bit more security on the visitors coming in. So we'll be scanning the people who enter the prison to make sure they're not smuggling in anything they shouldn't be. Let's spin that door around so it matches that one. There we go. And by having our sniffer dog here, like so, I can actually, thinking about it, I'm going to actually take out the walls there, like that. Just have that little line in there as a bit of separation. Just simply so that we've got a bit more space for people to move around in here, and our dog to move around in there as well. So yeah, the reason I'm going to have a dog in here is so that anyone who tries to smuggle in contraband to the visitation area should get picked up on. And obviously anyone trying to smuggle in, you know, any kind of weaponry or tools or anything like that, that'll get picked up on there as well. Yes, we have them there for our prisoners going into this section, and then obviously off into the prison. But we also kind of need them there for everybody coming in. So I'm going to repurpose these ones. I'm going to put one here, just to make sure that anyone going into visitation doesn't take something in that they shouldn't, or get something on the way out. Which means I also need to repurpose this one. Where do I need that one to go? Let's see. Where did I need to put a detector that I didn't have one? Ah, up here. In our medical bay. So we'll put one there, like so. And that way anyone coming in will get scanned on the way in, and anyone who leaves will get scanned on the way out, so in case they try and steal any medical scalpels or anything like that. That should deal with that situation there. And we can actually need to just extend these rooms a little bit as well. So this is our morgue, isn't it? So where's morgue? There we go. So let's just extend that room out a little bit, and same again with the infirmary. Let's just extend that line up there, like so. Alright, so everything else seems to be pretty much spot on. Let's just double check our guard deployment one more time. Because we've reworked this section, we need to reallocate our dog handler in there, and we'll put a normal guard in there as well. So you can see we have, what is it, 9 guards, 10 guards posted out of the 20. That gives us a good rotation. Two in each block. We've got this area nicely covered. We've got three dogs posted and 2 sort of, you know, in reserve, so we can swap dogs out. You can see we've got a couple here waiting, and a couple there are sleeping. So our dog situation is pretty much spot on. Yeah, I think we're ready. So let's just whiz to 8 o'clock when our prisoners will be coming in. And it's going to be kind of a little bit pandemonium here. You see, all of our guards are going to start rushing down to collect these prisoners. So you can see they're being fed in. Here come the well, it's a mixture. We're getting minimum and max medium on this bus here. There's a second bus and a third bus. So you can see all of our prisoners coming through. Where's our dog that's supposed to be in here? Here it comes. So you can see there the dog is now sniffing away, making sure that there's nothing been smuggled in that shouldn't be smuggled in. And now all these prisoners are being sort of strip searched, given their uniforms, and someone there smuggling in something that they shouldn't have. They're all sort of being brought in, and then they'll get taken off. Once they're all brought in, they'll get taken off one by one towards their cells. You see someone there's been a little bit naughty, trying to sneak something out of the block. There you see, that's why we have the dogs in here. Someone trying to smuggle in some narcotics there. Someone bringing in some alcohol. It's been picked up on a body search, I think. Oh, we have visitors coming in. Let's see, are any prisoners going to come down? Just looking to see where all of it. Oh, we've got a snapshot just there. Pick that up. Beautiful. I think I only need one more, I think. And then I've got all of the snapshots. And there's all of our prisoners now being fed through to their new homes. So is this cell block full now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10. Yeah, all of those cells are full. So now we're going to go ahead and go back to security sectors, and we're going to change this back to shared, just in case anyone, kicks off and gets upgraded to maximum security. It means that, they don't end up, without a cell. And we have a couple over here, look, already, got picked up on violations as they were brought in and have been put into solitary for a little while. That's something else we need to do as well. We need to actually check on our regime and our policies. So we're going to look at regime first of all. So at the moment, medium and minimum are both sharing the same policy, which is not ideal. So we're going to reallocate minimum security first of all. So currently they go for a shower at 8 o'clock, having been in lockup for an hour. We're going to change that. We're going to actually put them into shower first, then an hour of lockup. Let's see, when do we want these guys to eat? We want these guys to eat at, say, 12. Like that, so they've got 12 and 1. These guys, we're going to move their feed time like that, so they're staggered. Hopefully take a little bit of pressure off the kitchen staff. And what we're also going to do is we're going to actually change this to work. Like so. Put 3 hours of work time in there. Actually, no, we're going to change that to free time, so that they've got time from finishing work to, use the toilets and things like that before they go in. So we'll schedule 3 hours of work time there. These guys, we're going to schedule an hour of free time here. And then we're going to schedule work for these ones. And we'll go with 2 hours of work time and then another hour of free time. We're going to give our medium security guys a little bit more freedom in that respect. So they go into the yard. Actually, no, we'll get them working 3-hour shifts as well, like that. So we'll get them into the yard, and then when they come out of the yard, we'll put these guys... Let's see, they started eating there, so we want them to eat. See, they're eating really late at night. We want to bring that forward considerably. Let's put them to work for 2 hours in the evening. that free time. And then we'll put them into lockup and lights out at 10. And then medium security, we're going to switch these guys over. So they'll be having 2 hours of yard there. And then they'll have a couple of hours of work time. And then an hour of free time there. And then we'll get them eating there, like that. So, not ideal. But it's got them separated out from each other all across the board, and we're putting in time for them to use, you know, toilets and stuff after long periods of time. Because if we don't, then we'll just end up with puddles of piss and and vomit all over the place. So we have our sort of separation in on our policies and stuff. So now what we need to do is we need to start putting in some programs. So we're going to add in some kitchen safety programs first of all. These are 2-hour sessions, so we need at least 2 hours of work scheduled. In fact, is there anything that needs 3 hours? A parole hearing needs 4 hours. Well, we'll session the parole hearing. I don't think that actually requires scheduled work time, but it is a 4-hour meeting. So we have one session scheduled per day because we only have the one office. Obviously, if we had more offices, we could schedule more sessions. What else do we want to put in? That's 2-hour sessions. There's nothing here really that requires us to have 3-hour sessions. That's more for education. So since we don't have education to worry about at this stage, we will go back to our policy, our regime, and we'll downgrade the work to 2 hours. So let's move the free time there, move that, move the yard time up, move the work time up, move the free time up, move the eat time up, and then to lock up. And then we can move these a bit as well, so we can go free time there, eat there, yard there, work there, free time there, bring their food up a bit, and then have an hour of lockup before they go to sleep. There we go. Ah, that's interesting. Look, if you look at our regime, it tells us the number of prisoners that we have in each type. We have 21 in medium security, 1 in 19 in medium security. So one of our medium guys, minimum guys, has been upgraded to medium. And unfortunately, it looks like we now have a medium guy just been upgraded to max. He's gone into a red outfit. So we might now have to actually change that to shared as well. Just simply because we don't have enough cells. We'll see what happens, whether he just kind of wanders around waiting for a cell. That looks to be the case because he's just out here looking around, look. So I think Pennington doesn't have a cell. I think he was a medium security guy, a minimum security guy who's been upgraded to medium. Oh, he's been put in a cell there. So what's going on with this guy? Oh, this guy doesn't have a cell, does he? Maybe. I'm not entirely sure what's going on there. We'll keep an eye on him. He's been fixed by the doctor. He's been healed up. So, anyway, back to programs. I want to get these in place. So, we need... where is it? Kitchen safety. So I want a program here. This is at 10 till 12. I want a second program from 5 till 7. Because we want to put our guys to work. And now we're going to go to logistics. Now, logistics is quite an important tab because this is what allows us to control what goes where within our prison. So if you see with catering here, we have the one canteen, and it's currently, or the one kitchen, feeding the one canteen. And that canteen is supplying meals to any intake that comes in here. It's also supplying to our holding cell, and to this cell block, and this cell block, and also to our solitary cell block as well. So it's distributing meals across the entire prison. Now, if we had 2 canteens or 2 kitchens, then we could actually allocate which kitchen supplied which canteen, and then which canteen supplied meals to which locations. And we can hover over here, we can see how many meals are required at each different time. So you can see we need 19 prisoners at 11, 1 p.m. needs 18, and then 19, and then 18. So we have 2 prisoners not getting meals by the look of it. Or 3 prisoners. No, 2 prisoners. No, yeah, 3. 3 aren't getting meals for some reason. Not entirely sure why. But yeah, the reason we want logistics, again, laundry services does the same thing. It determines which laundry, if we have multiple laundries, supplies uniforms to which blocks. So you can see we're supplying here to this block and to these 2 blocks over here. And cell quality, well, I don't really tend to pay too much attention to cell quality, but it shows you the quality of the cell, whether it's occupied or not. So you can see this one is an empty cell because there's now someone's been allocated to it. Look, and it shows you the prisoner's level and also the quality of his cell. So he's a grade 3 prisoner at the moment. He's entitled to a grade 3 or above cell. So he's meeting, you know, his requirements are being met in terms of his cell quality. This prisoner is not entitled to any kind of quality of cell. So what I could do is I could take that out, and I could take that out and just strip it right down. I'm not going to, but I could do. But the reason we want logistics is because I want to put our prisoners to work. So we want prison labour. So I can put 3 people to work in the cleaning section. I can put 4 to work in the laundrette. And I can put 4 to work in the kitchen. Now you can go in and you can manually assign however many you want automatically. Or you can just hit square on the auto assign. Boom, there we go. All positions are now allocated. Now, obviously we don't have anybody who's actually trained in kitchen safety and hygiene yet. But when they are trained, we'll have 4 vacancies that will automatically be filled by the first 4 people to pass those training courses. And if any of them get released, either through completing their sentence or through parole and early release, then any other people that are trained can then be eligible to step in and take their place in there. They will earn a little bit of cash, and we get, you know, some labour at much cheaper prices, you know, than we would actually hiring a professional, you know. So it works out well for us. So I'm just looking around. Yeah, see, because he doesn't have his own cell, he's been put into the holding cell. That's fine. Did we change that to shared? I think we did, didn't we? Yes, that's shared. What I'm also going to do is I'm also going to allocate the areas that the staff to try and keep prisoners from wandering into areas they shouldn't be. So that's staff only. These are obviously staff only. What else have we got that's staff only? The morgue, that's staff only. We can't make the kitchen staff only because obviously we're going to be putting prisoners to work in there and they aren't staff. Same with these, so they stay shared. Let's see. We'll make that staff only. That will then stop prisoners from coming through this door this way. It'll force them to go that way. It's a quicker route, so they should go that way anyway. And what we're also going to do is we're also going to highlight... Oh, these are actually completely closed off. There's no access at all. but there is on the outside loop there, so we'll make that staff only as well, just to make sure that prisoners don't go wandering around in these outside areas. If you have walled areas like this, or areas outside surrounding the prison that prisoners can get into, either through breaking into that area, or a guard opening a gate and letting them through, it's usually because somebody has thrown some contraband over the wall or over a fence and they're going to retrieve it. So if you see prisoners going into fenced off areas like this, then it's a good idea to stop time, highlight them, and immediately trigger a search on them, because it means they're probably going after something naughty. So you can see we've got some families there that have gone through visitation. We've got another prisoner going to max. Look, you see, he's been triggered. He's going to get searched. Medium security prisoners always kick off, and as a result of the search, they found a pair of scissors on him. And we don't have any gang members yet. The guards kind of control this area at the moment. We've got 2 guards in here. We don't have any of the Diablos, the Reapers, or the Psychos in here yet. Someone with some alcohol there. And then we've got our weights benches going. Look, I've never actually seen prisoners. This is the first time I've ever seen prisoners actually physically pumping iron like that. Never seen it before until today. I've had weight benches in every single one of my prisons, and I've never seen them actually physically being used like that. That's pretty cool. So everything's running quite smoothly at the moment. Obviously, we're getting a few violent outbreaks, but nothing that we can't seem to control at the moment. If you look at our threat assessment here in the top corner, it's low, and there's no risk of it getting higher at the moment. So our prisoners are relatively happy with the situations that they find themselves in. We've got a few people complaining about food, or not having any food. We've got a few people complaining about spirituality. I haven't got the space to build a chapel just yet, but I want to make sure that our prisoners are getting fed properly. So let's just check. Our prisoners, we're not making enough meals at the moment to feed all of our prisoners. Although they're 22, they're about to, I think they're our medium security guys who are about to come in for their meal in the next 20 minutes and counting. Getting some more ingredients. They should hopefully have time to make another meal. Oh, that's a problem. Yeah, they should not be coming through like that. That is definitely a problem. I need to figure out how to fix that. Never seen that happen before, but then having said that, I don't normally tend to have this kind of setup like this. Alright, I think what we might have to do trying to think how I'm going to reorganize these. I'm going to have to, brick this wall off. I'm just trying to think how to do that. Alright, let's push that forward to there. We'll call in our workmen. And once that's been built, once that's been moved, we'll then build a wall. Yeah, see, they're just rushing through the kitchen when they shouldn't be. Never seen that happen before. But then, I say this is an unusual style prison layout. I've not really built a prison in such cramped conditions like this before. I generally build them a lot more sort of squashed. Sorry, a lot more, stretched out and larger, and then feed in prisoners in large quantities. It takes a lot longer to get them built and set up, but obviously for the purposes of getting this Let's Play up and running, I wanted to have a small prison that we could get set up quickly, and then expand with separate areas once we were bringing in some money. Yeah, see, no one's using the weights this time. They're just kind of hovering around. We've got plenty of guards in here. Alright, how many people do we have trained up? We've got 3 currently in the prison. And you can see here, he's in for a training session to learn how to cook. Oh, we've had another fight break out inside the yard. Someone being taken off to the infirmary. He'll get healed up. And then he'll get escorted off. Oh, Pennington still doesn't have a cell, does he? Or does he? He's in handcuffs, which kind of indicates that he doesn't have a cell. Unless he's just basically going back to his cell here and he's going to be in lockup. Oh no, he does have a cell. Okay. Thought for a minute he might not have one. Oh, hello. Oh, he's Minnows, Loki Deathbringer Odinson, the criminally insane. Oh, he's criminally insane. Okay, so we're going to need to build a padded cell for him, otherwise he's going to go absolutely mental. All right, well, that's a good place to end this episode, I think. Worrying about the dangers of Loki Odinson. Sorry, Loki Deathbringer Odinson. We'll have to wait and see exactly what reaction he's going to get when he starts kicking off. But we are going to have to sort of deal with him. We're going to have to build padded cells. We're going to have to put in a psychiatrist as well to deal with him. We don't have a lot of space. We might have to put something in this area just here. So we'll do that in the next episode. So thanks for watching. I'm Jim Bob, and we'll be back with some more Season 2 Prison Architect very soon.